Get to your path is to... Oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, wait. He spins again? Oh wow. Oh,
Mixed martial arts have introduced us to
wow.
dozens of rare submissions, but it is in grappling that finishing holds are elevated to the rank of art.
8-minute round again.
Oh my god.
Pursuing a
That's
precious tap, there's
expertise,
nothing
bro. That
wrong
is
in believing you can
mastery.
fly. Or put the antagonist on the verge of breaking down.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
Today, we will examine the most unexpected, exceptional, and even majestic
What
ways
the
of
fuck?
forcing surrender on the mats.
Isn't that like the Orchard? Oh my
Drop off
god.
there he goes.
Beautiful.
Oh, that is in.
Albeit less dynamic,
Bro.
Gi Jiu-Jitsu is characterized by greater technical diversity, in part due to active use of lapels.
Oh my god.
Among hundreds of different variations, the so-called cowboy choke stands out as demonstrated by Daniel Sala. From front headlock position, he passes his own lapel into the right hand
Look at this.
Putting that left hand trying
and secures the opponent's head in place
Look at
with the
this.
left.
to sit.
Then reverses the position with a sit-out
Oh
and gets the
my
tap.
god,
And
bro.
he's gonna get the tap. That was
Oh my god, that's a fucking killer. You see what that is? That's a killer. Dude, the creativity.
Headlock
What's
position,
this?
head in place with the left, into the Daniel Sala. From
That's
front
a
headlock
killer,
position,
dude.
he passes his own lapel into the right hand
He's way
putting
too
that left
good.
hand trying
and secures the opponent's
Look
head
at
in
this
place
shit.
with the left.
gonna sit.
Then
Passes it
reverses the
through,
position with a
grabs it with
sit-out and
this.
gets the tap.
Pulls out here.
And he's gonna get the tap.
Come
that was
on,
dope as hell.
bro.
Brilliant exploitation of the
Come
uniform
on,
and a
bro.
solid application
This
for a
is
rodeo
genius
license.
level
At this.
A
mental.
veteran
dude.
of the Japanese MMA scene, Barrett
Genius level
Yoshida
mental,
shared his
bro.
own implementation of lethal bondage, countering
go.
the guard pass by transitioning to crucifix.
Yeah, they're just going to go for the crucifix.
The old trickster immobilized the near arm in a chicken wing position,
One
Bro.
arm trapped.
and then put on the
Bro.
muzzle.
Oh my
Using his
god,
lapel,
bro.
He's
Stop.
getting his own lapel.
Taking a nap was not part of the rival's plan.
Tap.
Oh
The
my
legendary
fucking
Yoshida
god.
finish, another crucifix.
Lastly,
Oh
a
my
mini guide to
fucking
mid-air
God.
execution. Get a grip and a short running start. Now jump and loop the cloth around the enemy's neck.
No way. Oh my
Slightly
fucking
shift
god.
to find the perfect angle.
Oh my fucking god.
Now we're cooking.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, what?
Invented by judo practitioners,
What
the
the
first
fuck?
recorded instance of a
Bro, those guys are. What the
triangle
fuck?
choke use dates back to 1921. And since
Holy
then, the world
shit.
has witnessed numerous
Oh,
interpretations.
Bro. Yo.
Creon Davies twist.
Next time you motherfuckers see a judoka, okay? Next time you see a fucking guy at the bar. Next time, okay? You guys are at the bar and you're talking to this really hot bitch, right? This really hot shorty. And there's a motherfucker that looks like this, alright? Hold on, let me cook. Hold on, let me cook. Hold on, let's do it right. Let's do it correct. Let's do it for the clip. Here we go. Boys. Boom. Listen, fake it till you make it, alright? Boys. Imagine. You're at the bar. You're hanging out with a bunch of bitches. You guys are all having a good time, okay? And a guy says, yo, you wanna get knocked the fuck out? And you go, alright, yeah, I'll knock you the motherfucking out. And he's grabbing his fucking shirt. And he's saying, oh, you wanna get knocked the fuck out, huh? And you're like, yeah, bro, fucking knock me out, bitch. What are you gonna do with that? Bro, he's got you right here. He's killing you with one hand. One hand he's killing you and you have no idea. Boom, you die. Because you thought he was a joke. Because he was grabbing his own cloth like a fucking artist. What the fuck? Dude, death by shirt.
And she does it!
In 2017,
What the
former
fuck?
UFC fighter Antonio Carlos Jr.
Nah, bro, if
surprised
you're
the
gonna kill
renowned
me,
heel
come with
snatcher
something good,
Gary
bro. Not
Tonin.
with a piece of shirt. Oh!
With a beautiful flying triangle.
Controlling the foe's posture with the left underhook and a collar tie,
See, that's
the
small.
Brazilian immediately punished the attempt to reach for his legs and
Oh,
wrapped
wow.
them around the head and the arm.
Oh, that leg, bro. That leg bent the
Caught
wrong
off
way.
guard, the American resisted for a while,
Is there enough space for Gary Tonin to escape?
but ultimately went down.
Could win this match. And gets the submission.
Oh, wow.
Antonio Carlos Jr., the big man.
Oh, wow.
The extravagant Australian Craig Jones caused a storm at ADCC 2017.
Yeah, this is a
when he
real
faced the
genius. Look at
sports
this, look at
icon,
this, look at this.
Murillo Santana. The decorated warrior credulously stood up into a head-inside single and fell right into the levitating trap. Tightening
the
the
fuck?
triangle with his back off the
What
ground,
the fuck?
Craig turned the frustrated veteran into
And then
a
grabs
spectator.
the heel and it's over. Oh my god.
5 years later at the World Championship, Francisco Lowe expressed his disdain for double guard pulls. Springing up first and controlling both wrists, he lunged into the strangle, legs first,
What? Oh, it's over for you, my boy.
sprinkling a dash of armbar on top.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Modern grappling cannot be imagined without leg locks.
Oh, knee bar.
Too many people don't know what it actually means to know how to fight. People actually have no idea of what it means to know how to fight. Or what it means to know how to fight, yeah. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I know how to fight, and then you see them. Right? And then if you in your mind have that thought that, yeah, I know I can fight, like, look, I can scrap. I know I can scrap, right? And then I watch these guys. Dude, I know how to defend myself. I know how to fight. And these guys impressed me. If I'm one of those guys who just doesn't know how good they are, but believes they're very good, how are you not going to see this and say, oh, I am nowhere near this? I'm nowhere near this. You know what I mean? How do those people not see that?
And if you find a classic
you think
knee
you're just
bar
gonna
somewhat
think of this
tedious,
in the
then you
moment?
should pay attention
You're not
to
that
the dog
creative,
bar.
bro. You're not that creative.
First, isolate one of the opponent's legs. Lock a figure 4 around the ankle.
If you think you can,
And slowly drop your hips down to
if you think
hyperextend
you
the
can
joint.
fight when you can't fight,
This demonstration was provided by BJJ World Champion
You think you're
Bernardo
infinitely
Faria, who
creative.
had gathered a whole
what you
collection of
think.
patellas in a similar manner,
oh my god.
albeit doing it with love. The same can't be said about the bloodthirsty Brazilian Victor Anario, who displayed
Oh my
a
God.
slightly less gentle version of this move.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Despite biblical undertones
Bro.
in its name,
That can't be allowed. That's clearly trying to injure the other person. That's cringe. Like, that's cringe. Very clearly.
the Ezekiel choke has little to do with Christian morality.
From here, there it goes. There it is.
Wow.
Deceptively simple yet challenging to pull off, this technique gained significant popularity in gi jiu-jitsu circles.
Extend up here, obviously.
And he's going to get the tap. Ezekiel choke finish.
It involves utilizing your own sleeve to create some sort of a loop and compressing the carotid artery and the windpipe with your fingers.
Under his chin.
Let's enjoy the flawless execution
this?
by former Bellator champion Rafael Lovato. Anticipating a cross-collar grip, his adversary protects himself by turning to the side, which opens up the crossface and the subsequent choke.
Oh, I see. I see. This one chokes on this side.
In
This one chokes him on
2020,
the other
Sloan
side.
Climber showed his
wow.
own modification of the Ezekiel,
wow.
closing the guard following an unsuccessful butterfly sweep attempt.
Swimming butterfly with.
The American locked in the choke with the victim's arm inside and finished the job from the top.
Wow, beautiful sweep to mount. That was, oh, he taps him.
Just
Wow.
The unorthodox style developed by Eddie Bravo
Wow.
and perfected by his followers has intriguing roots.
Once I started smoking weed,
Oh, this
my
guy's a
whole
true
brain
genius.
changed.
In 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu schools across the globe, athletes come up with new sophisticated ways of twisting people into pretzels.
What the fuck
Dead
is
Orchard
that?
is an arm lock variation named after its author, Nathan Orchard.
It's going to be very tight. There's a tap, Nathan Orchard on his way to
The setup is performed from the
What the
patented
fuck?
rubber guard. The attacker slightly opens the legs to lure the opponent into
Bro.
escaping, which only worsens everything. The dangling
How
arm
do you
is
figure
there
so
for
much
the
shit
taking.
out?
And I'll just take this armbar right off the bat.
First, breaking the enemy's posture. Nathan throws his second
yeah,
leg
if
into a
I throw
position
my
called
leg here and then my
crackhead
leg
control
here, I got
that
you.
locks the figure
Oh
four
yeah, it's over. Ah.
and sends
Oh
the
my
poor
God, oh
soul
my God.
home on the Pineapple
Oh my
Express
God.
train.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
In 2022, Ben Eddy stole his colleague's artwork at the Combat Jiu-Jitsu tournament,
Gotta watch that arm.
added a drum solo,
They were trying to open up Wilson Hayes.
and left the stage in style.
And now armbar coming.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Armbar in its forms is an
Oh,
integral
wow,
part of
dude.
many grappling arts.
Nice. That was beautiful.
Finding it
Dude, as somebody who knows how to fight, I see this shit and I go, yeah, you know what? I don't know a lot of things. Like, I know how to fight, but I don't know a lot of things. How can you be somebody who's never fought, never competed in anything, never trained, and think that you can fight when you see people like this? These guys are so fast. Dude, it's so fast. Nah, this shit doesn't work in a real fight. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Dude, if it works on people who are avoiding the technique, it works on people who aren't.
a judoka, sambo practitioner, or jiu-jitsu athlete who has never drilled the jujigatame is a more challenging task than knocking out Max Holloway. And although tens of
worst of the
thousands
bad
of matches have
motherfuckers,
been won
jiu-jitsu
with this
isn't
old
real
school
stand-up.
submission, we'll highlight the ones that stood out from the rest. At Quintet 1, MMA veteran Hideo
Oh,
Takoro
but it's
set
better
the
to
arena
know
on
everything.
fire with a magnificent entry.
8-minute round to gain.
No.
Grabbing the wrist on the feet first, the Japanese
stand-up
wizard
is
deceptively
stronger,
dived for the
obviously.
near leg, hiding his true intentions
Listen.
of snatching
In a real fight. By the way, that move was genius, what he just did. It's disrespectful that I'm talking about in a real fight. When this guy just pulled off a genius move. Look at this.
Japanese wizard deceptively dived
Look at
for the
this.
near leg, hiding his true intentions
Look
of
at this. Flips it. I don't think he was going for the arm. I think he went for the leg, couldn't find it, and knew the arm would be there.
snatching the vulnerable arm. Spinning like a whirlwind, a la Grandmaster Imanari,
Oh, wow.
Hideo caused an uproar
wow.
in the crowd.
Oh, wow.
In 2021, Jesus Cavalcante adorned
Which
the
is
Miami
better?
Open tournament
Harder-
by
which is
disposing
harder,
of the
boxing or
pesky
wrestling?
collar tie in radical fashion.
Wrestling. Oh, wow.
Drawing an imaginary circle in the air, GZ
Oh,
made
wow.
everyone's jaw drop, including the lovebirds standing nearby. As for the
Wow.
audacity
Like, look. Boxing or wrestling? What would be hardest? The training, the wrestlers. The wrestlers train pretty hard. The boxers do a shit ton of cardio though. And it's grueling, but if you have like the heart, you can do it. The wrestling, it's more explosive. If you're not explosive in wrestling, you're not getting anywhere. You have to be explosive as fuck. In boxing, you don't have to be explosive. You can just be long, for example. You can be long, or you can be pretty, or you can be, you know? like the requirements, it's like the requirements to be an NBA player, right? Be 6'7" tall at least, be above this in athleticism, above this in looks, above this, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be such a tiny percentage of the population that can go into that. So that's impressive as shit, right? Because, like, bro, to get there, your parents had to do the right thing, your grandparents had to do the right thing, like, the right things had to fall to for you to be created. And wrestlers are like that. Wrestlers need to be explosive as shit. A boxer can have high explosion, right? High explosivity, high cardio, long arms, long legs, you know. Can be able to put on less weight. Well, yeah. Drop more weight, right? His ability to take damage. Just his ability to take damage and his ability to recover. The wrestler needs to be explosive. You know? So you need to be hyper explosive. Where in boxing, look at all these styles. Look at everything you can be. Right? So yeah. The peak of wrestling would be harder. Wrestling would be harder. And the hardest one would obviously be MMA.
Of the Year award, it goes to Davi Hamosh for his victory in the ADCC 2015 final.
But actually, no. No, I disagree with the take I just had. I said the hardest one would be MMA. No, I disagree with that take. Because let's be honest, what is MMA? It's boxing and wrestling. And if wrestling is better, right? Right? If you had two wrestlings, it'd be more. But wrestling plus striking, it's less. It's less hard. Yeah, MMA is less hard than just wrestling. Because it means you train less wrestling. You know? Bro, if you train less wrestling, then it's easy, right? If you train less wrestling and more boxing, then it gets easier than just pure wrestling. Because pure wrestling is the hardest. Throwers counter each other, Bush wrestlers versus striker. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Carefully approaching his opponent's guard, the Brazilian leaped over the obstacle.
But is that because wrestling is better or because...
there is hardly a submission as revered and damaging as the heel hook.
Oh my god. Oh.
A split-second defensive lapse, and you might find yourself on crutches, waiting in line for an MRI scan on your knee. Add this formidable weapon to the repertoire of an all-action athlete, and you get Gary Tonin. John Danaher's student made this move his trademark and climbed to the top of no-gi grappling on a rope woven of opponent's knee ligaments.
Tonin sitting to the
side. Yeah, you can't use... Yeah, exactly.
5 years later at the ADCC, Gary earned deafening ovations
really boxer,
using the same method, going from 0 to 100 in just 15 seconds. Tonin made Uncle Sam himself proud.
If you're a submission guy and there's more than one person, it's over. Oh, what a takedown. What a takedown. What a takedown.
The human spine is not supposed to bend like a spiral pasta. This obvious fact
God.
explains the effectiveness of the submission known as the twister.
He might have it. He does.
Has anybody actually died?
By exerting monstrous pressure on the back and neck, this unusual move makes the victim choose between a tap and a wheelchair.
Do you guys think somebody back in the past, right, got caught in this position, knew they would die if they didn't tap and didn't tap? Like, consciously didn't tap? Said, kill me, I'm not gonna tap? Nah. There's no way, right? Nah, no way. Imagine, right? Imagine you're caught in a fight. You're caught in a fight with somebody. They got you in this position. And you, because of how you have lived your life the whole time, right? You say, you know what? There are things worse than death. And this is one of them for me. So I'm not going to tap. I'm not going to concede. I'm going to allow myself to die. Over conceding. What the fuck? Oh my God, bro. You know what I mean? I respect that person, bro. Listen, if that person exists out there, where that person gets caught in this, and for ego or whatever, they're just not going to tap and they will not tap, right? To save their lives. If they know they're going to die and they die to the technique willingly, oh my God, bro. Those people are samurais. Those people are samurais. You know? There was no tapping. They just killed you. Yeah, but imagine if, right? Imagine if. Oh, bro, I don't want to imagine that. Nah, don't imagine. You know what? Yo, cancel my pass coke out, bro. That pass coke out, not a nice feeling. I do not want to be caught in that position ever. Holy shit. No, thank you. Please, Lord, do not let that happen to me or any of my people, please. Holy.
Which is why it is prohibited in most competitions. However, Abu Dhabi sheikhs aren't too strict when it comes to safety, which allowed the bone breaker Vinny Magalhães to shine at ADCC 2015. The Brazilian noticed back exposure and inserted a right twister hook, tricking the foe into giving up the opposite arm.
If you want, go over under on the crotch.
Vinny dragged it behind the head. And performed spine realignment with a happy ending.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So would you tap? So would you tap? I'd like to say I'm the guy who would die and wouldn't tap. But I would tap, bro. I would tap 100. If there's a chance that I live, and maybe I lived wrong my whole life, or I choose to just die and live my life correct, the way I thought was correct, yeah, I tap, bro. I'd like to find out if I was right or not. I wouldn't want to go and just be wrong completely about life, bro. You know, I wouldn't like that. So, yeah, I'd live just on the off chance that I was wrong.
The sound of cracking vertebrae marked the end of his
What
grappling
the fuck is
venture
this?
for
What
the
is
Ultimate
this?
Fighter veteran,
What is
Shoney
that?
Carter. The opponent pulled off a 3-move checkmate.
What is that?
He's gonna go for his twister hook.
He is.
He's gonna go for his twister.
Bro,
The first twister is gone through, yeah.
His ball
and after
is
some
out.
brief persuasions, Shoney
ball
chose
is
the
out.
safe way out.
Mr. International as he.
And Seth gets
His-
the tap.
Sometimes
balls
silence
was out.
can seem so loud.
And there's the sombrero.
How are you gonna fight like that? What is that mentality to go out and fight like this? And what if a ball comes out? What is this mentality, bro? I don't... What if your dong is out? Like, do you not care? Degenerate behavior, bro. No shame. No shame. There's kids there, bro. What do you mean you're just gonna wear a fucking... What do you mean you're just gonna wear this, bro? What the fuck, dude? You're not allowed to have this mentality in life, bro. This should not be illegal. What the fuck? This shouldn't be legal at all, bro. Ban this mentality, bro. I strike that idea down. Bro, I'm such an advocate for free speech, but you know what? Abolish that speech that goes on in his fucking mind that allows him to do this shit, bro. Abolish that type of speech. Oh my god. What the fuck? And there's also a tiny hat. Is that for his dong? What the fuck? Is it gonna cover his cock? What the fuck is that? He's like, here, cover it up. He'd come up to me and go, here, cover it up. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, dude, I feel high. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, what a stream. Oh, what an energy. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, bro. Oh, I think I'm about to hang out the speedo like a steamed vegetable. Yo, who ordered the prawn cocktail? Oh my god, bro. Yeah, we gotta get rid of this shit. Oh.
Let's give credit to a few works of art that didn't
That's
make it onto
transformative
our
content.
list. In 2010,
Oh.
the legendary Marcelo Garcia
My
straight
God.
up big brothered Ben Askren. The elegantly floating Brazilian first crucifixed the folk-style wrestler,
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, he's already losing here.
then made him applaud
Oh.
in pain.
Oh, wow.
The previously mentioned
Oh, wow.
Ben Eddy is known for his flexibility and creativity. Here, Eddie's adversary showcased
What in
A-grade
the
toughness
actual
by
fuck?
escaping a tight gogo plata.
What in the actual fuck?
But soon fell victim into the Hinduatine, a
What
guillotine
the
from
fuck?
rubber guard.
What the fuck?
The infamous just get up
What the
technique
fuck?
wasn't enough this time.
What the fuck? Oh my lord.
Aerobatics in MMA can be a display of beauty,
Oh my
as proven
God.
by Japanese veteran Rumina Sato.
Oh
Back
my
in
God.
1995, the virtuoso known as the Moonwolf masterfully countered a takedown attempt with an inverted flying triangle.
Oh!
Grinded the foe's kidney stones. And squeezed the fight out of him.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yo, my hat goes out to all UFC fighters and everybody like that, bro.
The buggy choke became trendy just a few years ago and
What
caused a
the
considerable shift in the overall tactical approach. This sudden and rather fortuitous submission discourages top players from passively laying in
I
side
wouldn't do
control.
that professionally.
all
Hell
the way
no.
over the top.
It's not too
Hell no.
complicated. Your lat muscle presses into one carotid artery, their shoulder into the other.
On the crick of the knee.
Perhaps the most famous proponents of this move are the Ruotolo brothers,
Oh, the
especially
Ruotolo.
Cade.
Here's this buggy choke attempt.
Oh yeah,
He's in
these
trouble here.
kids are phenomenal. They're insanely aggressive and
He
they are
willingly conceded the
phenomenal.
sweep,
Franson's head into these kind of positions.
Kate is head.
only to catch the naive fella seconds later.
Uh-oh.
My God! Are you serious?
If he gets this, we can just call this up.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Sometimes guys end up on both sides of this exotic chokehold. For example, Jacob Rodriguez triumphantly rode all the way to 80cc on the buggy.
A minute. There he goes. Jay Rodriguez.
But passed the baton to Rene Souza at a local tournament.
Oh.
However, Souza himself got drowned in a buggy whirlpool against Derek Rayfield. He slyly locked in his favorite submission.
Who are these killers?
And was confident in a swift victory.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
What he definitely didn't expect was instant karma for his arrogance. Pulling a reverse card out of his sleeve, Rayfield mirrored the buggy choke move, producing.
Somebody put this one in a movie. Dude, this is movie shit. This is movie shit. Holy shit, dude. This is when the killer, he thinks he has you, but then you pull off the same move on the killer, and you turn out to be better than the fucking killer. Holy shit. What the fuck? What the fuck did we just watch? He was dead. Bro, what the...
And was confident in a swift victory.
It's over.
What he definitely didn't expect was instant karma for his arrogance.
It's over. How?
Pulling a reverse
That is
card
one of
out
the
of his
most
sleeve,
impressive things I've
Rayfield
ever seen in
mirrored
my
the
whole life.
buggy choke move,
That
producing the
is-
best submission of 2021.
That is like scripted material. That's scripted.
Just like in our beloved cage, magic
That's
often
insane.
happens on the square mats.
The unwillingness to lose.
So we will continue to delight you with the most breathtaking moments from the
unwillingness to
realm of
lose,
grappling.
That's the energy, man. That's the energy.
8-minute round again.
And I'm Gucci. My lord.
If you enjoyed the video and want to see more submission wizardry, tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and
these
vote
guys...
for sport.
Leg control there. Leo Vieira, old school. Wow. What a finish.
Yeah, these guys are fucking killers, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Don't get into a fight with one of those motherfuckers, dude.